Yeah, cut it.
Switch to the back side too.
Get this out.
Bobby.
There's a virus affecting millions of Americans, and it could be in your home now as we speak. Viruses take the good away from things and leave only the bad, and keep giving the bad over and over. Video games used to be a thing that unified us, brought us together from different backgrounds. However, as of late, video games have separated us and caused us bad habits and traits previously not done. Video games used to unify us through the virtual stories they tell and give us a sense of a community. Nowadays, video games are plagued with bad predatory tactics and habits that hurt the player and make video games play the player rather than the players play the video games. Video games take away tons of your time. Nowadays, video games aren't meant to just be pick up and play, but rather most are online centric, meaning you have to commit a minimum of like 40 minutes to be playing them. But if you don't finish the match in those 40 minutes, or if something comes up, you then get penalized for it. Video games also have systems in where, in order to play with your friends, you have to be at certain levels to be able to play with them. Meaning, if your friend played 4 hours and you just started, you most likely won't be able to play with them. This ruins a sort of social atmosphere that most video games had, and so it hurts social relationships. But also, in order to catch up with our friends, in order to get these levels or whatever tasks they're at, people will then spend money just to catch up to them. And that sucks. A lot of the time also, video games do take a lot of time, but not in the right aspects. Most things in video games have been pushed or elongated in ways that in order to get one task done in a video game, it will take hours to real life days. It doesn't have to be this way, but they do that in order to keep you playing or to make you use some currency in the game to speed it up faster. It's just another way to get you stuck on that game for more and more of your time. This, of course, hurts players that have real-life jobs or commitments, so they just don't have enough time. And this circles back to the idea that they'll have to spend real-life money just to catch up and play with their friends. But that's not the only type of money you're going to be spending while playing games nowadays. Companies nowadays love to use predatory tactics in their video games. What this means is, video games will implement a bunch of exclusive, but not really, time-sensitive offers for virtual items and pixels that have no real-life affecting systems. They're not a real item, however, virtually, they mean a lot to people. These items will go away in 24 to 48 hours most of the time and are quick sale items. What happens, however, is that you'll have to buy them with currency that isn't even real-life money, although it is, but it makes you feel like it is. A lot of the time, these 48-hour sale items, these items that only last the weekend or maybe just 1 week, will go away forever. So you want to get it now before never, right? Sometimes they come back, but they give you the illusion they won't come back. This is just another way they get you to spend money on their game. And of course, it doesn't feel like you're spending money. With this currency in game that you bought with real life money, you'll also, most of the time, have to actually gamble for the item you're getting. Meaning you won't even be able to get your item for the money you spent on, and will have to gamble to get it, or to get a lesser item, or nothing in fact. Something that you didn't want. It's just another way they'll take money away from you while keeping you on this long haul of a video game. All these flashy items aren't the only thing hurting you that's flashy. And that's the dopamine rush effect that happens with these video games. Video games used to be shown off and talked about as if they were so great because of their 4K graphics, their realistic ammunition sounds with their gunfire. This sounds great at first because it almost feels like you're living through the real thing until you think about what that really means. Living through actual warfire and bullet hells sounds great when maybe you put it on paper, but actually experiencing it, it's not so great. Getting that amount of dopamine rush where it's constantly action hurts us, hurts our sleep schedule. It hurts how we entertain and enjoy things later on because nothing compares to it. In most stories, there's a climax. There is a main point where the story gets really intense, fast action. This is usually after a lot of build-up and after the resolution, a lot of slowing down, tying events. Video games, it's not like that. It's constant action. Every moment, your awareness, all of your senses, keen on listening to your footsteps, looking at different angles, predicting where things could be, fast action, your adrenaline pumping. This huge amount of dopamine is very dangerous for the health, for the safety, and for the brain. People are having a hard time going to sleep because of this. Imagine if you were going to sleep right after going through all this hellfire and this bullet war. You couldn't. You need time to calm down, but we don't give that to ourselves. Games have us hooked on this adrenaline, wanting the next big thing, this next big experience. And so these video games end up hurting us mentally, socially, physically. It wasn't always like this. It doesn't have to be. We can take back control of our video games, and we can reinforce the positives and turn it into a benefit for us. We can turn it back into a pastime, into something we do on our time off, rather than all we do all day, every second. The first step is discipline. We need to set boundaries. We need to set certain times that we can spend on playing games and on work. We need to spend time focusing on what we need to do first, and then putting time towards video games. Video games shouldn't be seen as something we have to do, but as something to enjoy on our time off. Players have it wrong nowadays because of the way the games have committed to us, and so people end up not doing their daily chores, daily habits, because they spend all their time grinding on virtual items, things that aren't real. We need to set healthy boundaries. These healthy boundaries will allow us to enjoy the game more, actually, as we spend less time constantly on it and more time on the things that matter. The next big step would be to choose the right game. We may have some healthy boundaries with games, and we may choose to enjoy games in a more healthy way, but if we're still entertaining games that are negative and aren't doing good for us, then we're not doing much at all. We need to remove the bad games, the games that are trying to play you and not the other way around, to not be enjoyed. There are games that are meant as almost a honey trap, just trying to get you to start playing it and get you hooked on it. We need to avoid these games. We need to play the ones that are meant for enjoyment. That when you buy the game, you buy the whole thing. Not you buy just the rights towards it, then you can play the experience for a bit, and then you have to buy another thing, and then a DLC pack that costs this so amount of money 3 months later. We need to spend money on games that are meant for us. Games that aren't trying to market towards us every 20 minutes to every week or every month. We need games that are made for the player to have a healthy experience. Once we select these types of games, and we learn how to set boundaries with them, the player base will have a better physical and social community alongside with it. In conclusion, I feel as though video games can be brought back. We can have healthy relationships with them. We can cut out the negative sides of it. We can cure this toxicity. And all we have to do is set boundaries. All we have to do is choose the right games. And with that, we can bring back the communities and the feelings of wholeness we had the way video games used to be. Thank you.